because a lot of people think, oh, I have pavers. And then they're like, oh, I said it and forget it. No, that's not how pavers work, unfortunately, right? Anything that is outside is going to always have some type of maintenance to it.
Right.
Just like a car, you have to wash your car, you got to change your brakes, you have to kick your tires, you got to check the pressure, right? It's no different in the pool. It's just another realm of things that you're looking at, right?
Right, right. But I have, like I said, I had some experience with the pool company that
Well, we're here today with a great customer of mine that I had the pleasure of doing work for several years ago. I don't remember the year per se, but um, I wanted to introduce Eddie Shaefer, and I wanted to sit you down and have you come in to just give us a give the customer, right? Give the customer a feel for what to expect when they're talking to Regal, they're bidding us, they're trying to see if we're the right fit for them, right? And I thank you for your time, and I thank you for coming
sure.
in. And I wanted to just start it there, right? I wanted to start as far as where do you live? How long have you lived there? And what prompted you to call us?
Yeah. So I've lived in the Woodlands, probably about 30, 32 years now. Been in the same house almost 20 years. It came with a pool already there in the house. And, we were trying to make a decision as I was going to retirement. Do we want to stay in the house? Do we want to find something different, smaller, downsize? And we decided we wanted to stay. But we said, if we're going to stay, we want to make this backyard and pool our own. We want to make it look fantastic, something that we can just walk out every day and enjoy, read books, get in the pool, have parties, family, kids. So that really started our focus to figure out what we wanted to do next. After that, we said, okay, well, who do we pick? I mean,
The
I've
biggest question of all,
well,
right?
first of all, who do we go with? And we'd had some bad experiences. I mean, we'd had people who had plastered our pool and it didn't go well. So we were very concerned about this whole process of remodeling because, you do hear stories out there. And so I said, okay, talk with some friends, got some recommendations, researched online, narrowed it down just by, kind of reviews online, word of mouth, narrowed it down to 3 companies, called those companies out to get a bid and a proposal. Yeah, I'm looking for, are they gonna stand behind their product? Are they bringing ideas to the table that are good ideas, not just to get my money, but things that, oh, they're knowing what I want. They really are listening to me.
Yes, sir.
And so after going through this whole process, we ended up selecting Regal, obviously, and it was just a fantastic journey for us.
So who was your stud of a project manager you got, man?
So my man who's interviewing me, Edwin, was my main guy here. So how y'all doing? Was the guy. I was it was funny every time people would say, "Oh, you got Edwin on, you got the main guy," and I was like, "Okay." I feel very honored that Edwin
Yes, sir.
took my project.
Yes.
So and
I was very honored to do your project. I've been in this industry now for going on 17 years. And I think I told you when I started your project, remodels still do it for me, right? Like taking something apart and then reconstructing it to, like you said earlier,
Mhm.
to make it a part of you, part of the Schaefer's, right?
Right.
And there's no better feeling than to be able to do that for a customer, especially a customer like you, that was very communicative, allowed me to do my job. You only interjected when you needed to, when there was an issue or something that didn't align with your vision.
Mhm.
And at the beginning of the project, I remember we talked about it, and I kind of told you my um, lowdown of kind of how I run and how I run the job and how I work, right? And I think I told you at the beginning, I was like, we're a team here, like it's your home. I mean, I'm gonna treat it as my home, but you're the one living here every day. And you're the one that walks outside and you look at everything when my guys leave after work, right? And one thing that I will say, Eddie, is I appreciate you not picking the job apart during the construction phase, because that is one of the hardest things that can be done, right? To just wait till the job is complete to make sure that it's up to par before you start picking it apart.
Right.
And I think you did that very well. You allowed me to construct your project and get it built out. and you only interjected when the time came. And that was probably one of the biggest advantages that I had as a project manager, because you allowed me to actually do my job. And I think there was no better thing there than us working as a team and pushing those issues and small little problems that we ended up pushing through, and it ended up not being a problem at all, right?
Exactly.
Going on that,
Exactly.
what was your biggest regret or biggest issue that we might have had at the project that you were like, man, I wish we could have done this better, or man, we should have caught this? Was there ever a point in time that that happened?
No, I don't think we had anything that was too out of line. I mean, I think it wasn't an issue for you, it really wasn't, but, we had a sprinkler issue, but that was truly, truly not a Regal issue.
Right.
That was a whole sprinkler system that, if I would have been thinking, I would have come in and had that moved, out of the way, but
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times customers don't think about that, right?
yeah,
Like you just said it, like you're so pumped up and anxious to get started on this remodel or pool that the sprinklers kind of take the back seat, and you don't think about those areas where
hey,
you're going to put new deck or you're going to cover up a potential sprinkler head. And honestly, I wasn't thinking about it either, right? Like
hey.
usually our designers talk to the homeowners and they tell them, hey, we're going to wreck your sprinkler system.
Mhm.
Hey, we're going to wreck your yard. Hey, we're going to make a big mess before it looks great, right? And if you would have marked those for me, I would have even capped them for you.
Yeah,
But we were just weren't thinking, right? Like,
yeah.
we could have easily done it, but those are the things that kind of get missed. And that was a learning experience for me, because now we always ask customers
Mhm.
if they have sprinklers or anything like that before we start, just to make sure. And sometimes we try to cap them if we can, but if they're irreparable, obviously we're just going to let them call their sprinkler guy, just like
Mhm.
you did at the end,
Mhm.
and get your sprinkler system rerouted like you did.
Right. Yeah.
And how was the remodel process? How long did we take in your backyard? And
Oh gosh, we probably took maybe 3 months, 3 to 4 months or so. I mean, it was a lot. It was, we did, no, we did it's this is a large rectangular pool. We did decking, we did fire pits, so
we tore a
we
pool.
did a lot.
We tore a pool out,
And we
right?
tore the pool out because, we built a landing area for you could have sitting chairs and lay in the water. We built a whole sitting wall along one side of the rectangle, and now you can just sit in the water and, for a lot of people to be in the pool and not have to be standing, they got a place to sit. So we remodeled the pool. We didn't just we actually added new features and totally changed the look and the usefulness of the pool.
Right.
So that was amazing because I didn't have those ideas going into this, you know? Those were things you guys designed and we're like, "Oh, wow, that's really." I mean, didn't even think about it, that's just you guys brought so many ideas to the table,
Who
so
was your designer?
wow, had to be Edwin, I think, right?
I wish I could take credit for that, but it was Janet.
Yeah,
Janet,
that's right, it was
Janet was your designer.
yeah,
She's the one that
yeah.
put all that together, right?
She managed all the tile selection, she managed everything, all the details to make the whole scheme come together.
Right, right.
Yeah, and made it do it well real well, really.
Was there a value uh, with you selecting Regal Pool? Do you feel like you got your money's worth? Do you feel like there was a value in a relationship? Was there a relationship built with us, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of times, even, I know 6 months, 7, 8 months, I'd have a question. I could call Edwin or somebody and I would get an immediate answer, quick response. Somebody would drop by, show me how to do something. I had Regal do my pool maintenance for the 3 years after we had the remodel. So you guys were always involved and, I walk out there now, and I guarantee you that area, the whole pool doesn't look any different than day 1 when we went live with the remodel.
I know I seen the pictures of it
It looks
through our
just exactly the same.
beautiful,
I
beautiful.
mean, and the landscaping's all grown in around it now, and, it is a true showpiece. So many people come over, and just walk out, "I wanna go look at your pool," you
I
know?
think a lot of that has to do with you, though, Eddie.
Yeah.
You're a very meticulous individual.
Okay.
When I first showed up to your job, um, you were very aware of everything that was going on, the remodel.
Mm.
You were very present, but at the same time not hovering over me, right?
Mhm.
Anytime that I had a question, you were there to answer it. I would knock on your door, you would come out and help me with whatever it was, right? And that's why I'm saying a lot of it was you, because you're the one that's been keeping up with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes, we finished your pool, and yes, we did the remodel, and yes, it looks great. How many years has it been since the
About 4 years.
So you're the one that's upkept that pool and upkept your yard and made sure that you're spraying for weeds in your pavers, and making sure your sand is staying in your pavers, and you're resanding your deck like you should, right? So a lot of that is kudos to you. A lot of that is on your behalf, and the willingness of you doing the maintenance, or having people do the maintenance that needs to be done to give you the longevity of the product, right? Because a lot of people think, oh, I have pavers, and then they're like, oh, I said it and forget it. No, that's not how pavers work, unfortunately, right? Anything that is outside is going to always have some type of maintenance to it.
Right.
Just like a car, you have to wash your car, you got to change your brakes, you have to kick your tires, you got to check the pressure, right? It's no different in a pool. It's just another realm of things that you're looking at, right?
Right. But I have, like I said, I had some experience on the pool company that I can still do the maintenance, but it didn't stay together like it should, and this one has stayed gold.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Um, was the approval process difficult at all from when you approved the pool to when it went to HOA? Was that a hard process in the Woodlands?
Not for us at all.
Why not for you?
I mean, you
Well,
asked
I'm gonna ask that question. Why not for you, Eddie? What I want to know, why not for you? Because a lot of people out there, they'll sometimes encounter a lot of road bumps along the way when they're trying to get a pool approved, right?
Right.
So what advantage do you have, man?
Well, I think one, my wife was working for the company.
Oh, my
We're a little sound ship at the time.
Gotcha.
So
you
she
went-
knew, well, she knew what we could and couldn't do.
Gotcha.
So I think that was good that she knew the rules pretty well.
Yeah, right.
And, and if you look at the existing pool, we weren't really changing the exterior. We may be putting some pavers and stuff down, but we knew how close to the fence to do things and stuff. So, as long as we just did it by the guidelines, it went really quick.
I think if I remember correctly, you're backed up against a pretty big property behind you, right? And then you have a main road next to you, right?
Right.
How was the access? How did I believe you live in a cul-de-sac as well, right?
Right.
So how was all that when we were building your pool with your neighbors? Was it causing any issues? Was parking a little bit of a hassle at times?
Right.
How was all that?
That was one of our biggest concerns is the cul-de-sac, the neighborhood, and how to get to the pool. But, I think you guys came up with an approach. I mean, you kind of where you could bring in stuff through the rear, y'all did that. Where you had to come in through the front, you did that. But we never got one complaint.
I'm glad to hear that.
We didn't have a noise complaint. We didn't have a parking complaint. Nobody called and says, when are they going to be done? We didn't have anybody, and we know our neighbors. Like I said, we've been in this house over 20 years, so we know our neighbors very well, and not one person called and said, "Hey, could you have them do this or stop doing that?" We just didn't have that going on.
Nice.
So that was kudos by you guys for that.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. I don't think there's really anything else. If there's something that you want to bring up, he can edit, right? He'll edit whatever he has to edit out or
I
whatever.
just think, to me, you want somebody who's going to stand by the quality. You want somebody who's going to bring ideas that you haven't thought about that adapt to your lifestyle. And you want somebody who's going to build something that has strong workmanship that's going to last. And that was the things we had with Regal.
And that's why you pick Regal.